Pain changes a person quietly. One day, you realize you no longer react the way you once did. The things that once broke you now simply pass through you like wine through an old tree that has survived many storms. Some of the deepest wisdom in life is learned in seasons nobody applauds. Growth is often invisible while it's happening. Hard times do not arrive only to destroy you. Sometimes they arrive to remove the version of you that could not carry your future. The world teaches comfort, but suffering teaches endurance. And endurance builds the kind of strength that peace alone never could. There's a loneliness that changes a person, a silence so deep that you're finally forced to meet yourself without distraction. The strongest souls are rarely born in easy seasons. They are shaped slowly through disappointment, loss, patience, and survival. Some wounds never fully disappear, but over time, they stop controlling your spirit, and that itself is healing. Pain humbles the ego. It reminds you how fragile pride becomes when life places weight upon the soul. A calm person is often someone who has survived chaos silently. The hardest battles are the ones nobody sees. The battles fought behind quiet faces and tired eyes. There comes a moment in suffering where you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "What is this teaching me?" That is the beginning of wisdom. Difficult seasons reveal truths that comfort keeps hidden. Some people become bitter after pain. Others become deeper. The difference is reflection. The soul matures when it survives what it once thought would destroy it. Not every storm came to ruin your life. Some storms came to clear your vision. The pain that nearly broke you may one day become the wisdom that guides someone else out of darkness. You discover your real strength when life removes everything you depended on except yourself. Many people smile in public while silently rebuilding themselves in private. Time does not erase pain completely, but it teaches you how to carry it without collapsing beneath it. Suffering teaches patience in ways comfort never will. Some lessons enter gently. Others arrive through heartbreak, silence, and disappointment. Yet both shape the soul. A person who has suffered deeply often speaks softly because they understand how heavy life can become. Pain has a strange way of simplifying life. It teaches you what truly matters and what never did. There are nights where the mind becomes a battlefield, yet surviving those nights quietly is its own form of courage. Hard times teach you that peace is more valuable than attention. The world often misunderstands quiet strength because true resilience rarely announces itself loudly. Healing is not becoming who you were before the pain. Healing is becoming someone wiser because of it. Sometimes life isolates you not to punish you, but to rebuild you without distraction. Pain strips away illusions. It reveals who you are, who people are, and what truly deserves your energy. The soul becomes heavier after suffering, but also wiser. Every difficult season carries hidden teachings for those willing to reflect instead of merely react. Some people survive physically, but remain emotionally trapped in old wounds. Healing begins when honesty begins. The strongest form of courage is continuing quietly when nobody knows how hard life feels. A peaceful mind is often built from surviving many internal wars. The storms you survived changed you, and perhaps they were meant to. There is wisdom that only exhaustion can teach. Wisdom about limits, priorities, and the importance of inner peace. Not every painful ending is destruction. Some endings are rescue in disguise. Hardship reveals emotional truths that success often hides. Sometimes the greatest victory is simply refusing to let pain turn you cruel. The soul grows slowly through suffering, just as mountains are shaped slowly by wind and time. You cannot always control life's suffering, but you can choose whether suffering hardens you or deepens you. A wise person learns not to expect life to be easy. Peace comes from acceptance, not control. The scars you hide may contain the wisdom someone else desperately needs. The person you become after pain is rarely the same person who entered it. There are moments when survival itself becomes an achievement. The world respects visible success, but the soul respects silent endurance. Suffering teaches you how temporary everything is, both joy and pain. And in that realization, attachment loosens. Some storms are necessary because they force roots to grow deeper. Pain often introduces people to themselves for the first time. You do not truly understand patience until life gives you no choice but to wait. A tired soul does not always need advice. Sometimes it only needs stillness. Strength is not always loud determination. Sometimes strength is simply surviving another difficult day without giving up. The darkest seasons often produce the clearest understanding of life. A wounded heart can still become a wise heart. Life humbles everyone eventually. Wisdom belongs to those who learn from the humbling. Pain reveals emotional attachments you never noticed during comfort. Silence becomes sacred after surviving too much noise. The deepest healing often happens quietly, far away from applause or recognition. A person who has endured suffering learns to appreciate peace differently. Some losses are painful because they force transformation before you feel ready. Difficult seasons remove distractions and expose the condition of the soul. True growth begins when blame ends and reflection begins. Some people survive suffering physically but become emotionally trapped in resentment. Wisdom frees you from becoming your pain. There's a calmness that only comes after surviving what once terrified you. Pain teaches humility because suffering makes all people equal eventually. You realize how temporary emotions are when enough time passes and you survive feelings you once thought would destroy you. The soul becomes quieter after enough disappointment. Not weaker, just wiser. Hard times teach you that emotional discipline matters more than emotional intensity. Not every burden is meant to be carried forever. Wisdom is knowing when to release what is poisoning your peace. Suffering reveals the difference between what comforts you and what truly strengthens you. A wise soul does not deny pain. It simply refuses to become consumed by it. There are lessons hidden inside loneliness that crowds can never teach. The greatest transformations often happen in silent seasons nobody witnesses. Pain removes superficial desires and reveals deeper truths about life. Some wounds become wisdom instead of weakness. The soul becomes lighter when it stops fighting every difficult reality. Acceptance is not surrender, it is clarity. There is no deeper peace than knowing you survived your darkest chapter without losing yourself completely. Suffering changes your relationship with time. You become more patient, more reflective, less desperate. A person who has suffered deeply understands the value of gentleness. Pain often teaches people to seek meaning instead of attention. Hardship reveals how strong the human spirit truly is. Some of the most emotionally disciplined people were once emotionally shattered. Wisdom is born when suffering meets reflection. The storms of life cannot always be avoided, but the soul can learn to remain steady within them. Pain teaches you that inner peace is more valuable than winning every argument or proving every point. A calm spirit is often built through years of invisible battles. There's strength in becoming softer after life try to harden you. Survival alone changes perspective. Small things begin to matter differently. The soul grows wiser each time it chooses healing over bitterness. Difficult seasons force people to discover whether their peace depends on circumstances or character. You become dangerous in a peaceful way once pain no longer controls your emotions. The deepest maturity comes when you stop asking life to remove every hardship and start learning how to remain steady within it. Pain reminds humans that control is limited, but response is always a choice. Some people spend their entire lives avoiding pain, never realizing suffering often carries the seeds of transformation. Hardship teaches you who values your soul and who only valued your convenience. Wisdom is not becoming emotionless. It is learning which emotions deserve your energy. The soul becomes clearer when it stops resisting every difficult experience. There are battles that change your face and battles that change your spirit forever. Some of the wisest people carry sadness quietly, not because they are weak, but because life taught them depth. One day, you will look back at the pain that nearly destroyed you and realize it carved wisdom into places comfort never could.